Hello and welcome to English for Prep. My name is Aaron Tieman, and I will be your son or daughter's English teacher this semester. It is my 19th year here at Lyons Township, and it's a special place for many reasons. But first, I met my wife here 19 years ago. And second, we also live in the community, and we have two kids, a 6 and 8-year-old. And so you might see us walking around town, and I often tell my students that I think of you as neighbors, because some of you very well might be, but more importantly, that I'll treat your son or daughter as though they only live a couple blocks or houses away. So I want to go through a couple things today. First, I want to begin with technology. If I can make a request that you could help have your son or daughter have their video on at least during the first 5 minutes of class. It is something that I'm asking as a kind of visual ID in many ways, as students do have the ability sometimes to change their names, and there's been some teenage shenanigans going on. So if they could have that on, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, if there are any technology or technological needs, please contact Lyons Township as soon as possible, and they can provide you with a laptop to make this work. So I would like you to possibly become an observer. Now, this is just a recommendation. It's not something you have to do, of course, but if you'd like to see what's happening or might need to help your son or daughter further, there's a way for you to become an observer to see everything that I give them. You also can see. So that is going to the website over here, clicking on parents and reading through the directions, which ultimately is going to ask you for what is called a pairing code, and your son or daughter is going to have to share that with you, so then you can be an observer in our class. If not, there also is a Canvas parent app where you can get all the due dates and assignments and everything else as well. And this is kind of what it looks like. Once you get into Canvas, you can see I make these calendars. I know some other teachers are linking each day. Mine is kind of a working document that might change, so I'm trying to give them 3 or 4 weeks in advance, and that has been kind of difficult this year with 75-minute classes. So that will be updated and changed frequently, but I should have the week in place, but looking ahead several weeks, those dates may change. Also, everything we do in class, if a student misses a class for whatever reason, have them check the assignment calendar, which says our portfolio, and you click on that and there's a running tab. So if we ever do in-class writing, that at the end of each day gets posted and updated on Canvas to see what they missed. So what is this class, English for Creating and Reflecting? Well, it's one of my favorite classes, and I've taught many here over my 19 years at LT. And this one in particular is special because it's not a typical read and write paper course. It is really involving students in developing curiosity and lifelong learning through the study of literature and arts. To read through it a little further is we're placing emphasis on the experiential and holistic approach that will engage students in a variety of activities to stimulate the creative process. Topics such as curiosity, observation, paradox, logic, and imagination will be explored. And this course is student-centered and actively involves students in the study of self while improving reading, writing, and thinking skills. So yes, it is an English class where we read things, we write things, and we think about things. But we're going to do that in a little different way. And the core framework of our course revolves around this book called How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci, which is kind of like a coffee table type of book, but we use it more, again, to structure our course that leads us into different ways of thinking creatively. It also will include this concept we call emulation, which means to copy, transform, and combine in order to make new creative work. And so we really do study different genres and mediums to see how things have often been borrowed and transformed, such as music, you take food, or even business. Maybe it's been done before, and hopefully a new business is just doing it better. These are strategies and techniques that we definitely discuss in this course. The next text would be Tuesdays with Maury, which is a text that involves lessons about how we should live before we die, including expanding compassion and appreciating the small things, all important things, especially these days. Now, it is a kind of sad text that in the end that Maury does die, but ultimately it actually is very uplifting. He is trying to redirect us into the things that we should maybe be focusing on or not focusing on that would ultimately bring us more happiness and peace and help us become more connected with one another. So again, we're going to examine our culture, We're going to examine the impact of technology on our lives, as well as how we can become more present in the moment. So a couple course policies to share is that, especially this year out of any year, if your student needs an extension, please have them communicate with me well in advance of the due date, which means not before the night, the night before the paper is due. Shoot me a text or an email. Please have them do so well in advance. There's going to be a lot of things going on this year that I can't fully predict, of course, but I'm going to be as flexible as possible to help them get it done so they're not feeling overwhelmed. But just please encourage them to keep that communication open. Then when the papers do come back, if they are not pleased with the grade, they can rewrite it for a brand new grade. The only important caveat to this is that it needs to be done within the first 2 weeks after they receive that grade. So it cannot wait until the end of the semester. If they don't like their grade and they give me 5 papers they want to rewrite, this has to be done within the first 2 weeks, or else that's it. But I will be here in the morning after school. We can Zoom, we can talk the way we're doing right now and have a conference and actually get into the papers as well. So there's a lot more to this course, as you could probably imagine. There is a more detailed syllabus posted on Canvas if you'd like to go through that. That has all of our learning outcomes and objectives, as well as other contact numbers or things you might be interested in seeing. I'm not going to bore with all those details right now, but please check that out and ask me if you have any other questions. Beyond that, I just want to say thank you for your support, as I know I'm trying to juggle work and home, and I know you are too. Having a teenager around all the time has got to be a difficult thing. So just want you to know that I feel for you and that we are in this together. Please reach out whenever possible with any questions or concerns. Keep me posted as much as you can, and I will try to accommodate you in any way that I possibly can. So thanks again for watching this video, and I really do hope that someday we go back to in-person learning and I can have parent-teacher conferences and meet you all one-on-one. Thanks again. Take care.